Hey everyone, it's Kathy. Welcome to my live today. I hope everyone is doing well, and I am still a bit under the weather. I'm not feeling my best by any means, but I'm hanging in here, and I have been crafting this week. As y'all have seen, I put up several videos, so I'm just glad to be back in my front of my I guess in front of the camera, but more than that, just getting back into my craft room. There was a couple of days where I did nothing but just lay, and probably more than a couple, but it felt really good when I could get back in here. I could only stay for a little bit at a time, starting off, but I'm back now, and I'm hoping as each day progresses. You know, my husband reminded me yesterday because I was complaining, and Jennifer reminded me too. It's just been a little over a week since I was diagnosed, even though it feels like it's been a month. It's just been a short period of time. So I guess I'm doing better than could be expected, because it could have been a lot worse. But I am thankful to be here. And let's see. Oh, thank you, Bertha. Hello to Bertha Wilson. And yes, you are blessed. We are all blessed. Jennifer Real. Tina Barker, welcome in. And of course my moderator Jennifer, she does such a fantastic job of taking care of y'all while I'm crafting, and I'm just so thrilled to have y'all here. When y'all see me look down, and yes, and Randy, thank y'all so much for joining in today and being here. We got a fun little project today. I am gonna flip over to the, let me transition y'all over to the craft table, and here we go. And I was having major issues with staying in frame, and I got to thinking the other day I wanted to try some different ways to keep me in frame. What I did is I started using my software that I use to stream with, and I can plug that up to my camera, and I can actually see my desktop on my monitor on my laptop, which helps me tremendously to be able to see where I'm at. Hey Susan, welcome in. Vivian, oh yes, thank you, Vivian. It's been a haul, and like I said earlier before y'all got here, it seems like I've been down and out for a month. At least it does to me, because being sick is no fun. Before we get started, I want to show some cards that I received from some individuals. I got this really pretty thank you card, and this was from Sherry Wilkes, and she won the pack of paper from me. I can't remember, it wasn't the last live, but the live, maybe the one before that, and she sent me this really pretty thank you card. Isn't that lovely? And she put a little thing on the back, and she's just, I mean, it was such a treat to get that, and I was so thankful. That was one of my cards, and I did get a Valentine card. I got a Valentine card from Alicia Burris, and she always does over-the-top cards. Look at these beautiful little cookie hearts. I mean, they look like you could eat them. They're so good. And then, of course, she wrote me a nice little note inside, and I thought that was just a beautiful slimline. And, of course, she had to send it in some special packaging because this was way too thick to go through the regular mail. But I so appreciated getting that. When you are down and out and sick, it really does uplift you to receive a card, knowing that someone's thinking about you and praying for you. This card came from Margie Ryan. Thank you so much, Margie. And she stamped a scripture verse in here and wrote me a note, and that really uplifted me. I love this little fringe that she tied on here. I thought that was really cute and very unique. And I have one more card. This one I got yesterday, and it was another one from Alicia. She just wanted to let me know she was thinking about me. She had called me a couple of times while I was sick to kind of check in on me, and she sent me, you've always been there for me, now I'm here for you. And she just signed Love, Alicia. And that was such a sweet card. So I just wanted to thank each and every one of you that took the time to send me a card while I was sick. And this is probably the sickest I've ever been in a very, very, well, I've had the flu probably 3 or 4 times in my life, and I always thought that was the sickest I'd ever been. This was similar but different. When people say COVID is like the flu, I beg to differ. It is a different ball game. But anyway, today what we're going to do, I'm going to give away the 2 cards today, and I'm going to show you my prototype card, which most people are going to love this one more so than the one that I actually am making today. This I'm calling a sampler card. Isn't this cute? This card, I'm going to bring it up to the camera so you can get a really close view of it. And what I did is I took my 1-inch square die from the Stylish Shape dies, this little one right here, and I cut out little tiny squares on using the Dainty Flowers Designer Series paper. And then I glued them on. I cut 9 of them and glued them onto the square. And all of the measurements and everything will be in the tutorial, and I'll have that up for y'all later this afternoon. But I just put them on there, and then I ran that through an embossing folder to give it that textured look. And I thought this card I just thought it was beautiful. And I'll show you, okay, I'm sorry, Jennifer just told me in my ear that I was going out of frame. She said I was going up too far this way. So let me go right here so y'all can see that texture. And I used the seam binding and I taped it on, and then I tied a bow and used the glue dot to put that on. And I put a little "I'm here for you." And then I just stamped inside the little sunshine and made the road ahead of you be brighter than the one behind you, lined with wildflowers and covered in sunshine. And that's from this new stamp set called Covered in Sunshine. And that's such a cute stamp, and this is it right here. It's got some really cute little sentiments on it. These are great for using inside your cards, and I think we all struggle with sentiments for inside of our cards. All right, I'm going to lay this card. Let's lay this one right here for right now, and I'm going to show you what I had in mind today. I had not worked with On the Farm, and I thought this might be the perfect time to bring out On the Farm and do a little farmyard sampler. So I'm going to move this because it's going to be in my way. I'm going to set this over here. So again, here's our Stylish Shape dies. I have pre-cut the pieces because I knew that I probably wouldn't feel like talking for a long period of time today. I do have throat lozenges over here. I've got a cup of hot tea, and I've also got a cold drink. So in case I do start coughing, I can try to relieve my coughing a little bit. But this is the die that I use to cut out all of my little squares. And I'm going to show you what we have here. I've got all my pieces right here. I'm going to lay everything up here so I can show you. We're going to start out with a card base that is 8.5 by 11. This is basic white cardstock, and it's 8.5 by, I'm sorry, 8.5 by 11, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. So this is going to be our card. Now for our matte piece that goes up to the top, this is 3 3/4 by 3 3/4, and this is what we're going to build our sampler on. We're going to need a mat to go under it, and I thought this Daffodil Delight would be beautiful. So we're going to do some stamping at the bottom of this in just a minute. And I cut from the, hey Marlene, welcome in. I cut from the a day at the farm. Let me pull that pack of paper because I do want to show it to you. This is the paper, The Day at the Farm, and it is such a pretty paper. It has your scenes. If you're into scrapbooking and you wanted to do a full layout, this would be great. If you didn't, you can cut this off and do almost a complete scene I love the barn with the sheep. That to me would be a card, and add some embellishments and stuff. But the entire pack of paper is gorgeous, and you have the farm on one side, but look, this is on the other side. Is that not beautiful? I thought that was just lovely. And of course the farmyard animals, our dies cut these out, and we're going to be die cutting some of those in a few minutes. Look at that beautiful plaid on the other side. Like I said, you've got the farmyard on one side, but on the other side you've got a beautiful pattern that you could use. Like I said, there's that. And then on this one, that's the same one I showed you a while ago with the plaid. And then you've got the trees with the cows, and I thought, and the little flowers, that's so cute. But then you've got the rolling hills on this side, which is blown up a lot bigger than what the stamp is. And that's the same thing. And look at this piece. That just looks so farmy. To me, there's something about that, the dark red, that just screams the farm. And then this is a very neutral piece that you could use for most anything. And then, of course, we have the little barnyard critters with the windmill, the chickens and the ducks, and that's gorgeous. And the chicken wire. Isn't that cute? So it is a very versatile pack of paper, and the best thing about it, it's free. Now through the 28th, oh, and let me show you this piece. This is the piece I used. I cut a 1-inch strip, a 1 1/4 inch strip off of this, and this is what I used for my sampler. I wanted to get all these little vegetables in for our sampler, and I thought this would have been the perfect thing for that. So we're going to see how it's going to pan out. You know, we might not like it, but then we may love it, so we'll see. Who did? Hey Diane, how are you? I'm trying to keep my voice to a minimum, so I'm going to leave it to Jennifer to welcome folks in for me today. Because the more I talk, the more I cough. Y'all know how that is. All right, the first thing I want to do before we start gluing these pieces on, I want to use that stamp set, and I want to stamp that little rolling hill across this the bottom of that yellow. And look how cute that is. And I mean, on the stamp set, you've got trees, you've got the silo, you've got the cows, the clouds, you've got the roll of hay or straw, you've even got grass. I mean, the pigs, I love those pigs. I think they're adorable. The chickens. I mean, it is such a cute stamp. And I think it's one that you could use over and over for different things. So I'm going to grab a piece of, I thought I had a piece already here. If I don't, I can grab a sheet. Oh, I don't even have it up here. Yes, I do. Y'all just have to bear with me today because I am a little miscombobulated. I was telling Jennifer earlier, it's a lot easier to do a recorded video because if I tire out, I can just stop and go rest for a little bit and come back to it. A little bit different with this because I got to keep going. So, and I probably shouldn't have chosen something quite as complex as this one, but it's really not a complex card, it's just a lot of pieces. So I'm going to grab my Granny Apple Green ink, and I'm playing in with the colors that I'm using because this is Granny Apple Green that's going to go on the top. So we're going to go ahead and pick that up and ink it, and I'm going to come down here at the bottom and I'm going to stamp my heels. And let's get just a little bit more right there. That's why I wanted that paper, because I knew I was going to go over the allotted space. All right, so now that we got that stamped, and like I said, this is going to get adhered on here, but I like to build everything on my mat first and then adhere it to my card base. So that's what we're going to do. The next thing we're going to do is go ahead and lay out our pieces. Now I've got mine stacked, and I'm not going to nitpick over what piece goes where. I am going to turn it the way I think it ought to go, and of course corn can go anyway, but we're going to do it like this. And what I want to do is I want to establish my corner pieces first. So I am going to establish my top row and my bottom row, then we can balance in between. The same way with doing the first one, the last one, and the middle one. That makes it so much easier. If you try to put these on straight in a line, you are not going to be happy with your project. But if you do it like this, and I'm just going to use liquid glue, and this can be a little bit time consuming, but we're going to try to, you know, get through this as fast as we can. And I'm going to put that one down right about there, leaving myself just that little bit of border on each side. And now I'm going to grab this one, maybe this one, and we're going to put it over here, and I'm going to try to mimic what I have on this side. I'm going to try. So I'm going to squirt some glue on here, and let's put this one down right about there. This one looks a little bit crooked. See if we can move it. I'm not going to try to move it. You know what? It's a homemade card. If it's a little crooked, we'll live with it, right? That's what I say. Now this one I'm going to put right here. I'm going to try my best to get that one centered up in between those two. This is the hardest part of this card, is getting them straight. But I think once you run it through the embossing folder, it's going to be so pretty. I don't think you're going to really pay that much attention to the exact straightness of it. So now I'm going to take one of these, I just need one, and I'm going to come down to this bottom corner, and I'm going to put one there. And I'm going to try to mimic again the same that I have at the top. And then we're going to grab another one. And let's put this one right here. Again, I'm going to try to make sure I get that nice and even. Now that we've got those established, let's go ahead and put in the center one here, and then we can go ahead and put in our center row, and I think we'll be on the home stretch of this. I am still kind of raspy in my voice, especially when I wake up in the mornings, and at night I still cough so bad. And I don't know if any of y'all know this, but I had an allergic reaction to the prednisone that they gave me. Not only did they give me a 7-day supply of it where you gradually knock your toes down, they gave me a shot of it at the doctor's when I had to meet with them in the back. I felt like I felt like I was at Joe's Pool Hall, you know, picking up something illegal, because they of course they wouldn't see me in the office because I had tested positive for COVID, and I understand that. But I had to pull up to the front of my doctor's office and call and let them know I was there, and then they called me back and told me when I could move around to the back and that somebody would be out to check me. I didn't feel like going. If Dennis had not been here to have driven me, I don't know that I would have even made it. I was so sick. But anyway, his symptoms, like I told many of you, was not severe like mine by no means, and he never ran a fever. He didn't have any more than just like a slight head cold. Oh, that one's crooked too. You know what? I don't care. I do care, but we're going to go with it, okay? Now that we got those glued down, I am going to grab out my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And I have a video that I'm planning on putting up later this afternoon discussing some issues with our little mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. There has been issues with our with the plates not wanting to go through, and Stampin' Up has had some ideas for some solutions to that. Let me zoom y'all out just a little bit. Now I'm going to take the Quattro foil embossing folder, and I have the new embossing folders on order, and I really wish I'd had those because it was one of those I would have loved to have used. But I think this one makes a nice pattern on here as well. And I'm gonna I'm just going to use this, and I'm going to run this through. Now, with this particular embossing folder, because it's not a 3D, all you need is your #1 plate, a cut plate, or 2 of your cut plates. So there's my poor old ratty cut plate that I dedicate my bottom plate always as my cut plate. And then I'm going to lay that in on top, and then you're going to use another cut plate over it, and that's our sandwich for a regular embossing folder. And let's get the big boy out of our way and zoom you back in. Okay, so now let's put this back. I'll be looking for that die adapter if I don't put it in there where it belongs. Y'all know how that is. If everything's not where it's supposed to be when you reach for it, you can go into panic mode really fast. And look how cute that is. I mean, looking at it now, I don't even notice anything crooked, but you know, I know there's crookedness on there, but it's okay. It's all right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring back in my Daffodil Delight that I stamped on. I'm going to bring this up a little higher than I did on my other card, and the reason for that is I want to have some placement down here for some of my animals. You know what, before I do this, let's die cut our animals. And I have them all set up so we can cut them in one shot. I should have done that while I had the machine out, but I forgot. This is that paper, and these are the dies that comes in the bundle, or you can buy just the dies, however you want it. But it cuts those animals out, and I love that Stampin' Up! Is doing more of that. So let's go ahead and do this one more time. Again, I should have thought ahead and done my die cutting all at one time, but I didn't. So this is going to be easy to cut because we're just going to lay that in, put that over our plate, over our die cut, and let's crank it through. I love this machine. It cranks like a dream. It has never given me any problems whatsoever, and because I do flip my plates, I don't have warping, so I will turn that one over for my next go round. Look at that cow. Oh, I love that cow. My favorite is these pigs though. It's the mama pig and her baby pig. Look at that. Isn't that adorable? So I've got all of, and I got my sheep. So I'm going to lay these over in my basket so I don't lose them. I'll stick these down here so I can use them again. Look at that. I love it when you can get your die cuts out of a piece of designer series paper. That is wonderful. Now what I do when this plate starts to spring where it kind of bubbles up in the middle, that's when you want to flip this one over. This one you flip every time you use it. So it was like this while ago, now I'm putting it in like that. So I always know that when I take my plates out, they're already ready to go. So that's how I keep my plates from warping on me. All right, let's come back over. This is what I wanted to see. I wanted to see, because I had not done a trial run with this, I wanted to see if I was going to have room. Oh yeah, I think we're going to have room. We might not have room for everything. Oh sure we will. We'll put the cow up there. What do y'all think? We don't care if the cow covers up some of the veggies, do we? I don't. What do y'all think? Oh yeah, the sheep would be beautiful on an Easter card. It definitely would. I love, 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 love this set. And you know, you can stamp all of these too. And the dies even have a little woolly thing here that will emboss into your sheep so that you can get that little woolly look. And you even have the hills with the different things where you can do. I mean, the die set's adorable. And there's another piece to it as well. Look at that. Oops. There's the windmill, and there's a chicken. Look at these little ducks. It's so cute. There's a bunny rabbit. I mean, it is absolutely an adorable set. And I think sometimes sets like this get overlooked. So what I want to do first is I want to pop this up on dimensionals. So let me grab my dimensionals. And I'm just going to pop quite a few of these down. So let's do this. And here, and maybe there. I think that'll be plenty. I'm going to do this because it's quicker. I can wrangle these off using my take your pick tool until it gets full. Then I have to take them off of it. And the good thing is I don't have to worry about them being on my desk. That way I can put them in the trash. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and take this piece and adhere it right up to the top. I'm just going to let like a 1/16 of an inch of that yellow show up there. Press that down. And now I want to decide how I want. Maybe we'll put the cow and the sheep down here and pop the little piggies up. I don't know. I think I like the cow up there better. I don't know. What do y'all think? Maybe I should just use the cow and the pigs. What do y'all think? Y'all give me some input. I'm waiting. I'm going to wait and see if anybody has any say over how we should put these down. I think I might do it like that. I can get all three of them on there. You like it like that, Margie? I think I do too. I'm gonna go with that. So let's grab some more dimensionals because I do want everything popped. And I'm going to grab a mini to put right here on the edge of that one. And let's put some on this one. Everybody's indecisive, or everybody has a different idea. We're going to go with it like this, I think. And I think what I might do is put the cow, I'll glue the cow just straight up onto that and just let his feet kind of dangle. Maybe up a little bit higher. All right, let's put the sheep and the pigs down first and then see what we got. And we can let this go over just a tiny bit because we still have the card that we're going to put that on. So we can go over just a tiny bit. I'm going to pull these off. And I'm going to bring him over as far over this way where his little tail's just hanging off. And that can give us room for our cow feet to hang off. How's that? Cow feet. I like that. I'm going to put glue at the top of this. Or better yet, I think I'll just do a little bit of Stampin' Seal. Right across the top right there. And then we can put him down right about there. Okay. Get these little things off of my desk before I get them stuck to everything. Alright, so now we're ready to put this on our card. The only thing that we are needing is a sentiment. And if you noticed on this one, I had room down here to do my sentiment. On this one we don't. So we can put a sentiment across the middle here, or we can do it across the top corner. But I think what I'm going to use is I'm going to use a little bit of the Daffodil Delight. And this is where I had practiced stamping yesterday because I wanted to see if that was going to work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this piece off, and I'm going to use the back side so I'm not wasting cardstock. Y'all know I don't like to waste stuff. So, and I want to show you, on this card, I know everybody's going to want to know, this was the Dainty Flowers, and let me show you real quick how I'd use that to get those little pieces out. I took one of these oval pieces that comes in this paper, and I just positioned my little square all around it and cut those pieces off from here. You can see there's the little wisteria, there's the little pink flower, there's those ones there, there's this piece right here, there's the yellow, this is the other side of that yellow right there. So you can see how I got those all off of this. So I thought that was really a cute way of using those up, because I wasn't sure exactly how to use those. I think I'm going to cut those into rectangles and use them on the front of a card, but that's something a little bit later. Alright, let's get back to this one. I am going to cut this piece off using my trimmer. Get everything out of my way so I can cut it. And I think I'm only going to need about, let's see, which sentiment are we going to use? From All of Us. I think that would be a cute sentiment on this card because we got all of the little farm animals. So let's use that one, From All of Us. I'm going to make it about like that. We can always cut it down. So did y'all see my video where I showed little tips and tricks for this trimmer? I wanted everybody to know to always cut up for the two reasons I told you. One is you're always using that one side of your blade, and you can get double duty out of your blade that way. But the other thing is it pushes your paper up toward that lip and ensures that you're going to get a nice cut every time. I think since we're doing the farm theme, I'm gonna use the cherry cobbler and pick up some of that red. I think that'd be really, really pretty. So I'm gonna do that and grab my cherry cobbler. I absolutely love red peppers, and every time I see the red peppers on there, it makes me, oh, I want some red pepper. I can sit and eat red pepper with just some ranch dip and be happy. I love, love, love red peppers. So, let me stamp this on my little scratch paper before I go to my cardstock. Yeah, I need to stamp this a couple of times. This is a brand new stamp set, so a lot of times when your stamps have to get seasoned. That looks better. See, the more I stamped it, the darker it got. Maybe it all has to do with holding it. So let's hold it. Let's hold that in. Like so. I am so sorry I'm so congested, y'all. I know that this is not what y'all wanted to hear. And I do apologize, but hey, it is what it is. Let me grab a sip. Okay, much better. I wet my whistle a little bit. I have been drinking so much. If you haven't tried the Bigelow orange spice tea, that tea is divine. All right, I'm going to go back to my... You know what? I don't think I am. I think I'm going to cut this. Let's do a little wonky cut on it. Do y'all know what a wonky cut is? Do a little wonky cut. And let's put that right there in the middle. And of course I'm going to pop it up. I'm going to grab a piece of my, these are my little pieces that I saved. This was a trick from Connie Stewart to save your little strips. And this is such a good tip. So when I get to the end of a pack, I will trim off the sides and the all four sides of it, and I stick them in this little bag. And then I always have strips when I need them. And I do that on my minis as well as my regular size ones. And you know what? They work great because it's just like a regular Stampin' Dimensional. So let's put this down right about here. Center that up from all of us. And now we're ready to put some glue on this and adhere it to our card base. Get some of this trash off of my desk. Okay, and now we are going to sit this down on the white. Something like that. And I'm going to open it and give it a rub on the inside. And now for the inside, I'm going to use another matte of Daffodil Delight. So let me grab a Daffodil Delight. This piece is a scrap, but I think we can make it work. Let's cut this down to 4. Let's cut it this way first. Let's cut it to 5 1/4. By 4. And I'm just going to glue this in the inside and leave it for whoever wins this card. They can stamp something in it, or they can they could actually put another piece of white over it and stamp, or they could write a note, whatever. And if you needed to send a card to a group of people, this would be great. Or, you know, not to a group, I'm sorry, not a group of people, but if you wanted to send it like from all of you, like all your family or whatever, that would be really cute. Alright, so that's in, and that is our cards, our card for today, and I actually made it through it, and so far I don't think I've coughed. So I am going to give away these 2 cards. So what I'm going to do, you know, they both are cute, they're just different. And when I'm looking at them in the camera and I'm seeing what they look like, I think they're just adorable. The reason I'm not doing a prize drawing today is I am trying to limit my prize drawings due to shipping. Postage has gotten so outrageous. It costs me nearly $5 every week to send out a package, and sometimes I send 2 or 3 packages. So hey Connie, good to see you. So anyway, I'm going to start giving my cards away, and then once a month, the first Friday of each month, we will do a giveaway. That will make it a little bit more economical for me, and especially until my business grows. And as my business grows, I'm hoping that I will be able to do more as far as doing the gifts. But I found that I'm spending sometimes $50 to $60 a month just on shipping. So I gotta cut it back a little bit, and I hate it. I wish if I could give y'all stuff for free, I would definitely do it. But anyway, we're going to do the drawing, and I'm going to do this card first since it was the one we made today, and this will be the second card. So if Jennifer's ready, and if y'all have let her know if you want to be in the drawing. Oh, thank y'all so much. Oh, you haven't had time to craft, Connie. I understand. Yeah, Margie, the postage is horrible. Okay, Jennifer said she's ready. So for the little cow, the little on the farm card, the winner is Kathy Watt. Congratulations, Kathy. I didn't even know Kathy was here. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I'll get this card out to Kathy ASAP. So I'm going to put her name on it. And now for this one, Vivian, you have won this one. Vivian M. And I got your address, so I have both of y'all's addresses, so I don't need anyone's address. So there we go. I will get those out in the mail to y'all ASAP. I do need to take pictures of both of these to put on my blog, and once I get that done, I will get these out in the mail. I think the mail's already run here today. Plus, hey Brian, sorry you missed the live. Oh, okay, was he in the drawing, Jen? Oh, okay. Yeah, Jennifer wasn't interrupting me for me to welcome people in as they came because my voice has been way off. Let me flip y'all back over so I can talk to you for a few minutes. There we go. I just want to thank everybody so much. I know I look wretched. I mean, Jennifer even asked me, she said, Mom, did you put on makeup? And I said, yeah, I did. I did go in there. It wore me out getting ready today because I really, other than just showering and blow drying my hair, I had not been doing anything as far as makeup. I mean, there was days I didn't even feel like putting lotion on my dry body, my hands and my feet especially. But I am very blessed that it could have been a lot worse. So thank y'all all so much for your prayers, your love, your support, your cards, your texts, your emails. It has meant so much to me, and I appreciate each and every one of you. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off because I do tire easily these days. I know today was only like a 30-minute video, but yes, the video... Is the video still up explaining the measurements on the trimmer? I didn't go through the measurements. I did show how the bar on the side. If you let me flip y'all back over to my other camera. I put a piece of white cardstock along this bar right here. If you look right there, there's a piece of cardstock. And I did show how when you line your blade, your cut blade up here on the side, you can see those numbers much better. As far as reading the thing, I can do a video on reading the trimmer if you feel like that's something you need. I'll be more than glad to do that, Diane, if you want it. Shoot me an email or a text and let me know. And thank y'all again so much for tuning in. As I always say in closing, let everything that you do and say bring glory to our Father in heaven. He is so worthy of our love and our praise. So until we craft again, God bless and keep you. I love you all so much. Mwah. Bye-bye.